Om. 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 Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat, Parabrahma, Tasmai, Shri Gurave Namaha, Harihi Om, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Harihi Om. My pranams to all Atma Jyotis, divine light of the sun. I welcome all of you to today's session of YogaVashista. I am conducting these sessions study hour so that I learn. This is for my learning purpose. I am not a Jnani, I am not a Pandita, I am not a Guru. I am reading few books and making notes and making those notes available to you. I am reading a book published by Ramakrishna Math. This book is in Telugu. And I am reading few other books also on YogaVashista. If there is any mistake in my talk, mistake is mine. The original work may not have those mistakes. Please forgive me. So, in the previous class, we have seen that sage Vasishta is telling Sri Rama that effort is necessary. So, he's talking about the mind. Mind is like a small child. It is very fickle mind. Mind is very fickle like a small child. But there is a specialty to the mind. What is the specialty of the mind? Whatever direction we give to the mind, mind will run in that direction efficiently. For example, if you give bad habits to the mind, mind will engage in the bad habits efficiently. If you give the direction of good habits to the mind, mind will do the good habits efficiently. Therefore, one should always engage the mind in good karma, good habits like meditation, good conduct, righteous conduct, charitable activities, kindness, and compassion. One should not leave mind just like that. If you leave it like that, it will be going as per its own vasanas. And let us say mind has some negative qualities like anger, greed, jealousy, pride, etc. One should try to reduce those negative qualities, negative tendencies, and walk on the righteous path. Mind is a small child. It will behave as it wants. It will always have its likes and dislikes. But you should use the renunciation, vairagya, tyaga to control the small child. Slowly, we have to pull the small child called mind out of the likes and dislikes, lust, greed, anger. This is like a deep well. From the deep well, we have to pull the mind and engage it in righteous conduct. Slowly, slowly, one should engage the mind in the spiritual practices. If a small child is misbehaving, we don't punish him, we don't hit him. We will slowly, with the mild words, patiently, we will explain to the small child what is right and what is wrong. Similarly, with the mind will rebel, mind will want to go to the negative tendencies. You should not forcefully control the mind. Slowly, slowly, patiently, you have to bring the mind onto the righteous path. One should not engage in a forceful activities like a hatha yoga and all. Oh Rama, you might be having good tendencies or bad tendencies, good vasanas or bad vasanas. Whatever happened has happened. But from now onwards, be determined that you will engage in good tendencies. One cannot deny that through practice, through repeated practice, vasanas get strengthened, whether they are good vasanas or bad vasanas. So, practice more. Practice good vasanas more. They will get strengthened. So, through repeated practice or through ignorance, we might have done bad vasanas, bad karmas, and strengthened bad vasanas. But the remedy to that is in the current, in the present, we should do good vasanas, good karmas. Whatever in this world, whatever is the intention that will manifest. You will put appropriate effort as per the intention and you will attain that. There is no doubt about this. Therefore, using your paurusha, engage in righteous actions. And what is this Shubha karma, good karma, righteous actions? One is having a Sadguru, a Guru, who can guide you on the right path. Read scriptures, understand what is there in the scriptures. Use logic or intelligence. Use your experience to understand. With this help of these four, you engage in righteous actions. So, if there is a thorn in the feet, you use another thorn to remove the thorn. Similarly, if your prarthana karmas are having negative karmas, use good karmas to remove the bad karmas. And after that, you can transcend both good karma and bad karma and get established in the Atma Jnana. With this, chapter number 10 is ending. Now we are going to chapter number 11. Chapter number 11 is about Jnanavatarana, meaning the dawn of wisdom. Sage Vasishta is saying, O Ramachandra, Brahma Tattva, the Tattva of Brahman, the principle of Brahman is self-effulgent. It is indescribable and beyond the grasp of sensory organs and the mind. It is Sat Chit Ananda Swarupa. It pervades everything. In its light, it is the light of lights. In its light, everything is shining. It is also known as Niyati. And it is the cause and effect. See, if there is a mirror and there is a reflection of the face in the mirror, similarly, the reflection of the sun is there in the mirror, in the lake, in the ocean, in any shining object. Similarly, there is only one Atma, and its reflection is there in you, in me, in others, in the minds of us as I am. Even though there is only one Atma, one Sun, it is reflecting in each mind as a separate being. This is a wonder. Whatever you are calling as Jiva, individual being, is in reality nothing but Atma Brahman, Parabrahman. That means, what is the light shining in the mind, the reflected mind, is the sunlight only. But because of ignorance, the Jiva thinks that I am a limited being. I have limited knowledge. I am bound. I am this body. This body is myself. These are the limited feelings that a Jiva will get in his or her mind. Because of that, he is undergoing sorrows, unhappiness. To remove this limited feeling, limited understanding, and to point out that you are not the limited body and mind. You are the sun, you are the light of lights, you are the one sun shining in all minds. That is the purpose of all the scriptures like Upanishads. Therefore, O Rama, a Jiva has to put effort, spiritual practice, and contain his or her mind, chitta, concentrate, focus, and from a limited experience, he should move to infinite. He should experience the infinite nature of true self of himself or herself. O son, look at these sense organs. These sense organs are very much attracted to sense objects, sense pleasures. Just like on the garbage, some mosquitoes are interested. Similarly, the indriyas, the sense organs, are interested in sense pleasures. Therefore, with effort, spiritual practices, one should turn away the mind away from this garbage and towards spiritual upliftment. You have to put effort. then the mind will become equanimous and peaceful. Now we are going to enter into vicharana, enquiry. What is this enquiry? It is going to give wisdom. It is going to give you purushartha. What is purushartha? See, people say purushartha is dharma, artha, kama, moksha. What is it in reality? What is it we are seeking? What is a purushartha? What is it we are seeking? Ultimately, we are seeking happiness and removal of suffering. That is the purushartha. So we are going to enter into vicharana, enquiry into how to attain purushartha. And it is the essence of all Vedas, Upanishads. And we are going to enter into that. We are going to enter into a discussion on the Atma, the true nature of Atma, its characteristics. May this discussion be useful to all the people as per their understanding and station in life. A jiva, by doing what enquiry, what contemplation, will the jiva be able to achieve fulfillment, complete peace and fulfillment, while the world is as it is, all his activities are as it is. While living in the world, how can he attain, at the same time, attain spiritual fulfillment? By knowing which, the jiva will know the secret of life and death, and what is the secret of karma, and how to be liberated from the bondage. By knowing which, the jiva will be liberated. That we are going to discuss. By knowing which, this jiva will transcend the dualities like pain and pleasure, happiness and sorrow. If the mind is kept equanimously, what is the benefit? What is the happiness that we are going to get? By knowing the entire karma kanda and jnana kanda, and by doing vicharana, inquiry into that, what is the benefit? What is the greatest good that we are going to get? If we leave, if we reject all the sense pleasures and worldly attractions and contain the mind and make the mind peaceful and calm, what is that peace? How does it look like? And what is that one thing that I will get, by gaining which I will be totally fulfilled and nothing in the universe will attract me anymore. I am not lacking in anything. What is that one thing that I should get, by gaining which I will be completely fulfilled? That is called mokshopaya, for moksha, liberation, enlightenment. We are going to inquire about that. We are going to discuss about that. I am going to tell this moksha kada, story of moksha, enlightenment, story of moksha. I'm going to in detail tell about story of moksha. Whoever listens to this stories, they will attain liberation. Whoever does enquiry, they will transcend the sorrow. The story of moksha, the moksha kada, the story of liberation that I am going to tell you is told to me by Parameshti Chaturmukha Brahma, my father, the creator. At the beginning of creation, he taught me this. The same thing I am going to tell you. Sri Rama is saying, O Maharshi, the story of moksha, the moksha kada that you are going to tell, who did Brahmaji told this earlier? Why did he tell? How did you come to know about this story? So, before starting the story, please tell me all these things. Please forgive me if for my inquisitiveness. Vashishta says, O son Rama, whatever doubts you have, without you should ask all your doubts without any you should ask all your doubts. Before I start my bodha, my discourse, moksha kada, I will tell you how I got this jnana vicharana, this inquiry into wisdom, inquiry of wisdom. How did I get it? Later, I will explain about the Vakta, who is going to teach the qualities of a person who is going to do bodha. Who will do the bodha? What are his qualities? Who is the teacher? Good teacher. I am going to discuss about good teacher. Then I'll talk about Pruchaka. Pruchaka means the one who asks questions. Basically the student. What are the qualities of the good student? And I'm going to explain about various examples, the types of examples, and how to interpret the examples. Basically, example has limitation, so we should not take the example too far. So what are the rules of providing an example and how to understand from an example? Also, I'll tell you about sadhana chatushtaya, the fourfold qualities in a student, the prerequisites of a student. I will also tell you that. And the right behavior of a student, I will explain. Once we discuss all these things, we can enter into moksha kada. Now I'm going to explain about how I got this knowledge, information about Atma. Before the creation of the world, there was no time, there was no past, there was no present, there was no future. Transcending the time, indestructible, undecayable, Atma was there. That is the principle of Atma. That is the cause. That was there before the creation. That Atma is the essential nature of all that you see here. The entire universe came out of that Atma, and all the beings are nothing but that Atma. The essential nature of all the beings is nothing but that Atma. That is the foundation, the support of all. Scriptures call it as Chidakasha, the space of consciousness. Also, they call it Pratyak Chidrupa, the consciousness that we experience as I am, the innermost consciousness. Also, they call it Parishuddha Atma Tattva, meaning holy, pure Atma. It is indescribable. In Vedas and Upanishads, it is talked about, and it is the real nature of all beings. In an ocean or a lake, whether there are waves or no waves, it is nothing but water. Similarly, whether the Maya does the creation or does not do the creation of the world, whether there is a creation or no creation, only Atma was there. Atma was there before creation as Atma. Atma is there in the creation as Atma. And when the creation is destroyed, when the pralaya happens, then also Atma alone will remain. Atma is nirvikara. There are no changes in Atma. From that nirvikara Atma, like a great wave, Vishnu arose. From Vishnu Bhagavan, from his navel, Nabhi, a lotus came. In that lotus, Chaturmukha Brahma has taken birth. That Brahma, creator, is surrounded by angels and great saints. He created all the beings. The creation of the Brahmaji, all the beings that you see in the world, they are troubled. They got caught in the worldly affairs. There are many diseases, there are many sufferings, weaknesses. They are caught in the business of gain and loss. And they were in trouble. All of them were attracted to sensory pleasures, worldly pleasures. And they have limited lifespan. And life after life, they were attracted to sensory pleasures, and they were always having some suffering or the other. There were some pleasures in between, but mostly even a pleasure leads to suffering. So, looking at these troubles of the created beings, their father, who is the Brahmaji, became sad. His heart melted. How can I help these created beings? Then he meditated for some time. Then, to remove suffering, he has created few practices. They are tapas or meditation, austerities, dharma, dana, charity, satya, truth, tirtha, pilgrimages and holy places. After creating all these 5 things, he thought for some time and said, all these 5 things are well and good, but with these, my children will not be overcoming suffering. If they have to attain enlightenment and liberation, the only means is jnana, jnana, atma jnana, the knowledge of the self, wisdom. The greatest spiritual upliftment can happen only through atma jnana. What can remove the ignorance in their minds is the atma jnana, knowledge of the self. Let me find out the means of giving that atma jnana to the people. He thought like that, the creator thought like that. And from the mind of the creator, sage Vasishta is born. So Vasishta is Brahma Manasa Putra, the son born out of the mind of Brahmaji. When sage Vasishta is born, he approached Brahmadeva and he prostrated in front of Brahmadeva and said, Father, give me order what I should do. Brahmadeva smiled and said, may your mind be fickle like a monkey, and in your fickle mind, let there be ignorance enter. He ordered like that. That's it. In 1 second, sage Vasishta forgot about his real nature. His buddhi became gross. He became weak-minded and like a poor fellow, he started experiencing the samsara dukkha, the sukha, dukkha, bhaya, raga, dvesha, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, all those things he started experiencing. Then he thought, what happened to me? Where am I experiencing all this suffering from? How did I get all this suffering? However much he thought, however much he contemplated, he could not find how to get rid of the suffering. Then Brahmadeva approached sage Vasishta and told him, "O son, why are you crying? Why are you suffering? For removal of your suffering, you can ask me how to remove the suffering. I am your father. You can ask me. I'll tell you the means and the ways of getting rid of suffering." Then I asked, "O father, in this samsara, how is this suffering coming about?" Then Brahmaji gave the Atma Jnana to sage Vasishta. Then sage Vasishta understood it and he got Atma Jnana and he became free from suffering. Then Brahmaji tells, "O dear son, because I wanted you to experience the suffering of the world so that you will understand the suffering of the people, I made you suffer for some time and I gave you the Atma Jnana. In this world, there are so many people suffering. You go and help them." This is the order of Brahmaji. Now you go to the earth and help the people teach Atma Jnana to the people. Having ordered thus, I came to this Jambu Dvipa, Bharatavarsha, and as long as there are spiritual seekers, I will stay in this Bharatavarsha. I have no other duty. Now I got a good student like you who is asking about Jnana Vicharana, inquiry into the truth, inquiry into the self. I am very happy. Making you as an instrument, I will teach to the entire world. O Rama, I told you about my father, my life mission. May this teaching be beneficial to all the worlds. With this, 11th chapter ends. Hari Om Tat Sat, Sri Krishnarpanamastu.